guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. For today's video, I am going to be giving you guys different date night hair ideas. Valentine's Day is coming up, and I thought this would be a fun way to play around with different hairstyles and give you guys some ideas in case you have a romantic night out. So if you're interested in watching this video, stay tuned. I have been loving having my hair this length. It's kind of like a mid-length and I love it. I usually have longer hair and who knows how long this will last, but for right now it's been kind of fun to have less extensions in and not as long hair. It's kind of easier to do. So these hairstyles, I'm just gonna give you different ideas for all lengths of hair. You can do these with short hair or long hair. I tend to get stuck in a rut with my hair. It's always just down and waved like this, and I kind of wanted to play around with it and come up with different things that I can do. How you're gonna start is just by doing a base style, and that is just curling your hair, having it straight, having it loosely waved like mine. What I did was I used the J-Wave, which is a 1 1/4 inch iron, and I curled it like 3 days ago, and I just kind of let it fall looser each day. And this is like my comfort zone. I love to have my hair with like a slight bend in it. So that's my base style, and I'm just gonna show you guys how to incorporate different styles on top of something like this. Let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is incorporate a braid into my hair. And I feel like on Instagram, we've all seen the really cool videos where, you know, hairdressers are styling their clients' hair with really fun braids, but I feel like a lot of times those braids are hard to do on yourself, especially when they're in the back of the head. So I wanted to show you guys a way that you could add a really fun chunky braid into your own hair and have it be a little easier. So I'm gonna be doing a side braid right here. I have this amount of hair, and I always like to leave a little bit of bang out. I don't wanna put all my bangs in because I like to have something around my face. So I'm taking this middle section right behind my bangs, and it ends like right here. So just about this much hair. And I'm going to take 3 sections like you would with a normal braid. But then typically with a normal braid, you would just take this first left one and put it on top. I'm actually gonna take it and put it under first. And this is gonna help our braid kind of stand out a little bit. And then we're gonna pull it apart and kind of give it that pancake braid chunky look, if that makes sense. So instead of going over, I'm going under. And you can kind of already see that it makes the braid look a little bit thicker, which is nice. And how far down you go is totally your preference. It kind of depends on how long your hair is and where you want your braid to end. I like to take it a little bit further down than I want it because when I pull it apart, it gives me a little more wiggle room to play with. Going to braid it till about right here. And you want to make sure you have really good tension right here. You don't want it to loosen at all because now we're going to pancake it, which means we're going to be pulling it apart to give it that chunky big look. So I'm going to start at the bottom and I'm going to pull this side and then keep going. And I'm just gonna pull the entire side out, and then I'm gonna switch hands and do the other side. And how much you pull it out just depends on like how big you want your braid and how chunky you want it to be. Hairspray it so that all these little flyaways can get down. And then I'm just gonna kind of smooth them over before I secure this braid down. And for this one, you are going to want bobby pins. You could also use a clear elastic to hold it at the bottom if you don't want to hold it with your hands. But with this one, I'm going to use bobby pins. And then I'm just going to pin it to the side like this. And I'm not pinning it down here. I just had this down here in case I lost some of it. I'm going to pin it closer to right there. I'm going to take some bobby pins and crisscross them over each other. And I am just sticking them in. If you have extensions, it can be a little bit harder to place bobby pins because they kind of run into the extensions, but you just kind of have to be creative and make sure that you stick it in wherever it's wanting to hold. Typically, I would use blonde bobby pins on my hair since it's lighter. And at home, I have blonde, but here at the salon, I only have black. Just keep that in mind if you have lighter hair. I have 2 bobby pins in there. And the nice thing about these is you can kind of stick the bobby pins in under the braid. And since that braid's chunky, it's gonna hide them a little bit. You can pull the braid out a little more if you want to. Spray it a little bit, and then you're done. And a lot of times I will do just a braid on one side, and then sometimes I'll do it and meet it in the back, and I'll show you guys that one for the next hairstyle. But this is this braid, and this is just a really fun way to kind of like spice up your hairstyle. My hair's still down, it just has a little more sass. That is the first style. Okay, style number 2 is a continuation. I'm actually gonna take the same amount of hair on the opposite side, and I'm gonna take it from the same spot on the head, and I'm going to braid this side as well, and I'm gonna meet it in the back, and this will give us the look of like kind of like a braid headband that meets in the back, and I like to do like a little bun or something in the back. So I'm gonna do the same thing, taking my braid, going underneath, I think the hardest thing about this one is just making sure your braids line up and they're both even on either side and they're both like the same amount of chunkiness, especially since my hair is dominantly parted on that side. I have to have less hair on this side and more on this side to make them look even. All right, and then I'm gonna pull them apart and then do that same thing on this side. Then what I'm going to do is I am going to unclip this side that I already had bobby pinned down, and I'm going to meet these in the back. So now I have a braid on either side, and they're going to meet in the middle. And when you're doing this part, you want to make sure that you're looking in the mirror and you're placing this where you want it, whether you want your braids to sit higher or lower. I typically like mine a little lower. I'm gonna take a regular rubber band and secure them together, just like wrapping it around twice or 3 times. You can also use a clear elastic for this. If you're not gonna put an accessory over this rubber band, then you can use a clear elastic, but I'm actually gonna put a scrunchie over this, kind of give it a cuter look. All right, so those are secured in the back, and I just have this little scrunchie with a bow on it. And I am just going to secure that with the scrunchie in the back, and I'm done. And you can just choose any scrunchie that like matches your outfit, and you're good to go. So it looks like this in the front. I just have the 2 braids right here. Show you guys the back. The nice thing about styles like this with braids is that the braids are kind of meant to be like chunky and messy and not perfect. So if one of your loops is bigger than the other, or one's a little more chunky, it's kind of fine because that's the look. So that's another way just to take this braided look to the next level. The next one I'm going to do is little buns on either side of my head. And I've been seeing the bun trend go around a lot, and I think it's so cute. And you can do it with your hair half up, or you can do it with your hair down. And I'm gonna show you both. So I am going to take a section of hair in the center like this, and I have more than I did for the braid, and I am going to secure it right here. And clear elastics are the best for something like this. You kind of get the idea. I'm gonna use regular ones. If your hair's thicker, maybe regular ones would work best, but clear elastics are your best friend in this situation. And then you see here, I'm just hairspraying the entire section as I'm twisting it. And this is just gonna kind of help those little layers and flyaways lay down better. But I'm twisting it down to the end. And then as soon as I get to the end, I'm going to wrap it around itself like this. And then I'm gonna secure it. This style is definitely a little more wild. So I feel like this would be really good if you're wearing like a fun outfit out. If you're doing like a fun Valentine's dinner and you're gonna wear like pink and glitter and stuff like this, or stuff like that, then this style would be perfect for that. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side, making sure the buns line up. And this one's a little harder with extensions, I'm not gonna lie. So if you have extensions, just beware of that. You can kind of see one of my tapes right here, but we're gonna pretend that's not happening. And if I had more time, I could obviously do it where that didn't show. And then same thing, I'm gonna wrap this bun and secure it with a bobby pin. I'm not gonna lie, this gives me like Posh Spice 90s vibes, and I'm here for it. If you have any flyaways, like I have some hair right here that's sticking out, I can just kind of pin it down to make it look good. And with all of these hairstyles, definitely take a hand mirror and look at the back of your head, or have like your husband or a friend help you, because you wanna make sure everything's looking good in the back. All right, that is this one. I know this is kind of crazy, but it's also kind of fun, and I've been seeing it on Instagram and I'm here for it. Next, I wanna play with the half up, half down trend. And this is really basic, but I've been doing it recently and I really like it. So I leave the fringe out, pulling my hair back on either side. And then I'm just gonna take my scrunchie and I am going to wrap it 2 or 3 times. And then on the last wrap, I'm just gonna keep it looped, so it's like a little bun in the back. This is honestly so easy. And then I just kind of spray the sides. You can bobby pin if you feel like you need to. And that's honestly it. This is so simple, but it's cute because it gets out of your face a little bit. And then the back is just like a little bun with a scrunchie. And I feel like it's nice because it's casual, but it's also a little more dressy, especially if you have curls in your hair. I think it's like a fun way to dress up your outfit because you can choose a scrunchie that matches your outfit and you can kind of accessorize that way. Okay, now I want to play around with some hair accessories. I found these little gold pins at Madewell. They have a bunch of different options and they are so cute. So I'm going to use some of these today. And this one's going to be super easy. And I love doing this on hair that has a side part. So I kind of have it off center, but it's more dominantly on this side. So I'm going to take my side that has less hair And I'm just gonna kind of sweep my bangs out of the way with these clips. So you can see the first one's right there. And then I'm gonna do the second one right below it. I'm actually gonna do this one. I'm just gonna slide this one in right there. So literally it's like the cutest way to just kind of like dress you up. And I always feel like one side swept to the side looks classy and put together. So automatically I feel like I went from having like my hair down to like, it's a little more elegant because I have like these gold clips. If you're wearing gold jewelry, you can accessorize your jewelry with your hairpins. And I just think like it's a fun way to just make it extra cute. That's a really easy way to go from day to nighttime. For this next one, it kind of gets your bangs out of your face, but it keeps your hair down. And I actually do this quite often and I love it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a section of my bangs about this wide, and I'm actually going to pull it under the hair behind it, and then I'm gonna secure a bobby pin under that section and then let the hair fall over. So you can see my bang is just pinned under like that. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. And you wanna make sure you pull really tight with your tension on this one so that nothing's like gaping or bubbling. And then you pin it on that side as well. And then I'll use some hairspray, and then sometimes I use like cream or paste. This is the Unite Creamy Paste. And you just kind of slick any baby hairs or anything popping out. This has been a great hairstyle for me lately because my baby hairs from having a baby are insane. So this kind of like tucks them away. And I love this because I feel like it looks like you have a style, but it's really easy. So it's really nice because your bangs get out of your face, but your hair's still down, and it's just kind of like extra fun and flirty. This is another style you can do. This next style is going to be if you want your hair out of your face and you don't really want it down. So I'm gonna pull it all to one side, and I'm gonna keep some fringe out on this side. And I'm actually gonna do a French braid type thing. So I'm gonna take a top section like this, and I'm actually gonna do a fishtail braid type thing. So I'm gonna start with the top section and divide it into two. And then you just pull the outer corner of each section and bring it in like this. And you're just kind of adding, and instead of it being a normal braid with 3 strands, it just has 2. And I like to start this one a little higher up so that we can kind of capture all of that hair in it, which is why I divided it into 2 sections. And then you have to make sure you're taking the back as you go, so it's incorporating that. And you could do this in the back of your head as well. I just feel like it's a little easier to do it on the side when you're doing it on yourself. And then also, I kind of like the look of like a flirty, fun side braid. Taking 2 sections and then just kind of like switching the sides they're on. So like one section goes over here and then one goes over there. It's kind of hard to explain, but hopefully you can kind of see what I'm doing. And I love the look of a fishtail braid. I think it's so cute. And then with this style, I would typically use a clear elastic. I'm gonna use these again since I don't have any. And I like to secure it a little higher up, not all the way down. And then if you only had this type of elastic, you could take a piece of your hair and twist it around the elastic and then tuck it in just so that it kind of disguises it a little bit. That gives it kind of like a fun look as well. You see that? And that's honestly it. I would take some bobby pins though and kind of tighten this side so that it doesn't fall out, especially if you have layers in your hair. And then if you wanted to make it extra fancy, you could take those clips and you could put them towards the bottom. And that is another way that you could kind of hide your rubber band as well. And then that kind of like makes it fall a little wider at the bottom too and kind of gives it just a fun look. So this is another idea you can do, just a side fishtail, super easy and super quick. All right, last but not least, if you want to wear your hair down but you just want it to feel extra special, texture spray is going to be your best friend. So obviously my hair is already styled the way I like it. I will include a curling and like 3-barrel waver tutorials I have in the description box below. Those will be really good to follow if you want to actually curl your hair and style it with a hot tool. But once you have it to that point, I'm gonna show you how to style it and finish it off so it looks amazing. So the bigger the hair, the better, honestly. So I'm just gonna back comb a little bit. You can use any comb to do this, but I like to use a wide tooth comb so that it doesn't get too teased towards the top, but it just gives it extra volume. I am going to use texture spray to make it even bigger. So this is the Unite texture spray, it's my favorite. smells so good, and it just gives it like the hold and the grit and the volume. So you can see already that like this side looks a lot fuller than this side. It's okay if it looks messy during the process because you can go through and smooth it out a little bit. Texture spray is just like the best thing because it gives your hair a little more grit, and I feel like it just makes it look a little more done. Then I'm gonna take that paste again. This is the Unite one as well. And I just like to use this to kind of like smooth my bangs and my baby hairs down. I'll run it across the top if I have flyaways and make sure everything's staying in place. I also use it towards the ends because I feel like it kind of helps your curls stay a little bit. Then you're gonna finish it off with hairspray. And voila, you went from daytime to nighttime with just a few products, and you're just feeling a little extra full and fabulous. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you would like more styling tutorials, more styles on myself, or I can do them on other people so we can get a little more creative. Let me know if you liked this video by giving it a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you would like to see in the future. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a great day. And also, happy Valentine's Day.